today we are going to look at handstands and specifically at mobility for handstands. The handstand position is a really useful one to gain control over and gain access to, because it carries over into so many other things. When you go to pick a cookie up from the top shelf of the kitchen, or in a gym when you're looking to press something overhead or hold something there. But to unlock that range, we have to have a whole series of things come in line. Thoracic mobility, shoulder blade control, and full control over sort of flexion and extension. So we're going to tackle a good few of those today, give you tools that you can use to unlock those positions if you struggle with them. So first thing we need to do is test our position. That's simple to do. We're going to do this lying on the floor. You could do this up against the wall, but the floor gives us a nice easy way to measure. So on the floor we're looking to find that nice handstand shape. As in, we're going to go and hollow out the tummy, keeping the bum engaged, and we're going to look through our eyebrows so our chin's just on the floor. Okay, in this position there should be a little gap in there. Okay, what we don't want to see is kind of this position where the chest is almost proud and the tummy's relaxed. Now what we can do is either using a towel, a brush shaft, or nothing. We'll lift our hands. Okay, so hopefully this will make it easier to see on camera. There. Notice I'm fighting really hard to keep that nice hollow shape as I lift those hands. What I don't want to see is that, because that way the movement is coming from my upper back rather than from shoulder flexion. Okay, so how we use this as a test. You find your distance needed to get your hands to lift. So for example, somebody might be here. That's totally cool. Okay, somebody might be able to get right in super duper close. You might need to go wider than whatever implement you have. And that's okay. But pick your points, know where your body is and know how your arms relate to that body. Now we've found our position. We'll come back to that at the very end. I'm going to go and start with our thoracic mobility. Then we'll go to our shoulder blades and then go to that range of motion. So, first thing we'll do, we'll go into extension of the upper back. So we're thinking hips over knees, arms walking out, and we're going to relax the tummy and set ourselves down towards the floor. You may need to lift up on fingers in order to prevent your elbows resting on the floor. Okay, we want nice straight arms. We're going to go for about 30-40 seconds. And as we go through it, hopefully we'll get a little bit deeper. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. As we're in this position, try to shrug. So we're trying to get the shoulders as far away from your hips as you can and really relax down deep. If your shoulders are particularly tight, going wider here will help and allow you to get more into your upper back. And relax. Nice. Okay, so next one we'll do is a little bit of rotation. So again, we'll go on all fours. We're going to reach an arm through. From there, set ourselves on the ground, and we'll do like baby shark, trying to lift the hand up. Now, what I want you to take note of, as we do that, we want the shoulder to go beyond the other shoulder. If we're kind of stuck here, you should use that hand and encourage yourself to go that little bit further. You could use a little weight in your hand to help pull round that bit if you're particularly strong and tight. So, same idea, we'll go for 30, 40 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1, off we go.
As we go through today's stretches, making sure you breathe. And as you breathe out, try to go that little bit further. Try to pull that shoulder blade back as far as possible. Keep the arms straight. And relax.
Cool. Come out of it carefully. With any of our static stretches, you want to take your time coming out. If you're trying to rush out, you might strain something. So take your time coming in and out. Let's do the same to the other side. 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Oh, second side feels harder. I find using my ground arm against my leg helps lever myself further around. And relax.
Nice. Okay. In general, through our life we do a lot of flexion work, i.e. our back is quite stooped over, whether it's computer, driving, texting, eating, it's all forward. So as adults, we tend to need more extension. So we'll do one final extension exercise, and then we'll go into our shoulder blades. So this one we're going to be again on our tummy, and we're thinking about using our upper back muscles to lift off the floor. So before we start, I want you to squeeze your bum tight and then tuck your hips. Effectively, we're locking the bottom part of our body. And what we'll do from there is really try and lift using that upper body. You can use your hands for a little assist, but I don't want you to just crank with your arms, okay? If we were to relax the tummy and do that, we're probably going to get that pinching sensation down low. So we want to lock that all up and then encourage that upper body to do the work. We'll go again, 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1. As you go through this, go through the checklist. Bum, tummy, upper back. Try and take pressure off the hands. Go through the checklist again. Bum, tummy, upper back. Try lift the hands again. As we go through, getting that upper back to do more and more work. Fighting for your position, encouraging those muscles to do the work. And relax. Wonderful. So, we've done a little bit of our thoracic there. If you find any of those particularly useful, stick them into your daily routine, and doesn't take much, but consistency over time really helps. For our shoulder blades are super mobile, they can go round and round. We're going to tackle it in 2 specific areas, okay? Reason for that, when we're in our handstand, we want our shoulders to be protracted, but also we want them to be elevated there, rather than back and down. Okay, we want them forward and up. That helps create space, stability, and strength. So we're going to start off in a push-up position, which could be from your feet or your knees. Okay, ideally not here, because then there's very little weight through the arms. I want some sort of load through those arms. We're going to pinch the shoulders together, spread them apart. We'll do 10 like this, and then we're going to load ourselves up vertically. If you need to put your feet up on like a sofa or a box or something, that's cool. And then from there, we'll work that elevation and depression trying to keep the weight through the hands. All right, so let's go 10 of each. Let's do 2 rounds. Off we go. Tempting here to both bend the arm and move the neck. Try to control it. Keep the arm locked, keep the neck locked as well. If you find your body weight is too much for this, that's okay. You could do the same thing without putting load through it, just to learn how to move the body in the first place. That's 1 full round. Let's go again. Try to keep that tummy nice and tight. Tempting here to let the body sag. But use the opportunity, build up those abs. Oh my word, that got burning. Alright, so before we come back to our shoulder blades, we'll go through a couple of static stretches to try and unlock our full range through our shoulders. We'll come back and do one final set of those scaps, and then we'll test our position one final time with the stick. So first stretch we're going to do this one in class quite a lot. We're going to reach an arm across, our capsule stretch. So we're pushing the shoulder down to the floor, neck is over the bicep. We're reaching up long, trying to get the armpit to your elbow. So that's the basic position. Second step, once you're comfortable with that shoulder down, armpit to elbow, then we're going to go and engage the tummy. It's going to help put more weight through your shoulder and get a better stretch. If you're able to do that, then we pull up that leg. So if we're stretching our right arm, we'll pull up our right leg. Okay, we're gonna go for 30 seconds in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Try and let your mind wander to where the discomfort is. Try to relax that discomfort. It's going to try and tense up and keep you away from the position. Just let your nervous system know it's okay. It can relax. It can allow you that range of motion again. Now we'll swap over arms. 3, 2, 1, off we go. Encouraging that position to relax, get deep. Some people will find this in the front of their shoulder, others will find it on the back of their shoulder. If you feel it in your pec though, let's readjust. Let's find a position where your pec doesn't get pinched. And relax. With these videos, we're going through a short stretch. Okay, 30 seconds is a short stretch. A minute would be a good length of time, and 90 seconds would be really good. The longer the stretch, the more we target the muscle tissue and the connective tissue. A longer stretch though, our nervous system struggles with that a little bit. Okay, so the ballistic stretches and short duration stretches help encourage the nervous system to release, but to make structural change, you need those longer duration ones. Okay, next stretch we're going to do, kind of for the tricep area, and we're going to lie on our back this time. We're going to slip a hand so the fingernails are just underneath like your pelvis, your tailbone area. And from here, either the shoulder or the wrist are probably going to be sitting off the ground. I'm going to try and work both of them down. Ooh. I'm quite tight on this side, so this side's not as comfortable in the shape. Let's go again in 3, 2, 1, off we go. Trying to work the wrist down, work the back of the shoulder down. If you need to, you can offer a little bit of an assistance with the hand. I'm feeling that stretch kind of down the arm, maybe front of the shoulder. Don't be too aggressive, but encourage yourself to get deep, trying to pull that shoulder back, unlock that range of motion. And relax. We'll do the same thing the other side. I'm much more comfortable on this left arm than my right. 3, 2, 1, here we go. See, it goes right the way down, flat, nice and easy. Wrist goes down. When I was younger, for some reason, this right shoulder blade flared out a lot. I had to spend a year or so trying to get it to come back in. We call it scapular winging. It's probably because I learned how to row on one side and overdeveloped muscles on one side compared to the other. It just took a wee while to balance it out. Most of us are the same. And relax. A lot of sports are single side dominant, be it hockey, rugby. When you pass, you tend to pass the same way. Golf, tennis, all those racket and bat sports, throwing, using the same arm. So there's a lot of imbalance side to side throughout the population. Okay, we'll look at 2 final groups of muscles, triceps and lats. If the lats and triceps are tight, what we tend to find is that overhead position looks more like this rather than there. So we're going to go back to that first position we were in. We're on our little fours, and we're going to walk the hands forward. But this time, instead of relaxing the tummy, we're going to keep it tight. And then we're going to walk our hands to one side, and we're going to increase the distance from our wrist to our hip. So we're going to go push away and down. Okay, so if I show you from the front, it's not just that I'm pushing down, but I'm also pushing away with that hip. So I get that lat stretch right down into my hip. I'm going to go 30 seconds, 3, 2, 1, off we go. This other arm doesn't matter so much what it's doing. It can even help lever you into position. But we want that tummy on, trying to open up the body into that nice overhead shape. I feel that lat burn from the armpit right down to the hip. And we'll swap sides. 3, 2, 1, and begin. Takes a minute or two sometimes, or say a minute or two, a few seconds to find your position. Encourage your body to go into a better shape. Don't be afraid to play with your positions. The more you do these stretches and positions, the more comfortable you are experimenting. When you experiment, you discover. And relax. Usually just as they're getting good, the time runs out, eh? Alright, triceps then. We've done one of these for front rack position before. We did it kind of like that. So we'll give you a different tool this time. This time, old school schoolboy or schoolgirl stretch. You're going to reach a hand to your spine,
or as far down as you can. And from there, grab the elbow and pull it over. We're going to encourage that hand to come in close and then drive out hard. Oh, you're going to feel it all up that tricep. If you don't, try to pull your hand and your elbow apart more. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Here we go. The tighter you can get this hand into your shoulder, the more intense that's going to be. Also watch out, it's tempting to hunch over here, try to open up, keeping the tummy on, practicing that engaged overhead position. And relax. Same on the other side, 3, 2, 1. My bum's getting annoying. Getting deep into that tricep. Really unlocking that range. Getting up nice and high. Create that tension. Keep that breath. And relax. All right. So, we'll do a quick recap of our shoulder blade movements, see if that's any easier this time. We'll do 10 of our scat push-ups, 10 of our inverted push-ups. Oh, it flows so much easier now. Tummy staying on the whole time here. And then you're inverted. Lovely. Okay, one final thing to do then is to retest your position. So if after all of this there's been no improvement, we need to look at either the duration of the stretches to increase their potency, or it might be that there is something else holding you back, whether it's pec, whether it's some kind of impingement, whether it's nerve, that sort of thing. If you do see some improvement, great. Challenge is then to try and figure out what part of it. So the biggest improvement, and focus your attention on that. So you're doing the least amount of work to get the biggest amount of payoff. So try and hit your marks, understand your positions. My goal here is shoulder width or slightly narrower, because that's where I have a narrow handstand. Get the bum tight, tummy on. Got a good bit more height there at the same distance, and it was easier to do. Which means that when I go to practice that handstand, it's going to be more comfortable. I'm not going to have to work as hard in position. Now, the final thing you could do is to work on your handstand shape itself. Okay, you could use a wall for that, where you're getting up in like a wall walk. See if you can get your chest to touch the wall, so you're fully opening the shoulder and getting that nice open shape. Okay, if you're not quite at that stage, you quite often find that the shoulder goes up and the body like scoops in towards the wall instead of being fully open. So I'll try and show you using these two low walls, kind of what I mean. Don't die. So we're trying to stack the hips roughly over those hands.
Oh, it's disorientating. And instead of being here, we're trying to protract and elevate the shoulders and stack that weight over, getting the tummy on. That way we could start to get our balance and hold our handstand. Anyway, feel free to have a play with that if you're not ready for it. Totally cool. Hopefully you find something useful there. Hope you guys have a great day, and see you guys real soon. Shh.